Hello, Precise Pilates people. So for the final workout of Term 2 online, we're going to utilize a little bit of equipment, a chi ball, your magic circle, and a slider disc, or a paper plate, or a pair of socks on wooden flooring if you want to alternate out this piece of equipment. I don't expect you to have it at home. So we're going to do a bit of an express workout. This will be about 40 minutes, quite intense, and we're going to be using a little bit of some exercises from the Reformer repertoire. So we're going to start standing upright with the circle, your paper plate, your socks if you're on wooden flooring, or a slider disc if you happen to have one, underneath the ball of 1 foot. So if you've got the slider disc here, or your paper plate, or you're in socks, you want to lift your heel off, arch the sole of your foot and come onto the ball of your foot. Place the circle between your palms, take a nice soft breath in, imagine melting the shoulders back, and allowing the sternum to float. Press the circle lightly between your palms, start to engage through the upper and mid back, and then begin switching on to that transverse band. Beautiful. From this point, we're going to go into skaters. Keep this nice connection on by squeezing the circle between your palms, mimicking that T-zone connection. We're going to weight bear over one leg. So we're going to soften through one knee here, trying to keep the hips level. Now in this position, you want to slide one leg out away from you, preferably the leg that has the paper plate underneath it, the disc or that sock on the wooden flooring. You want to keep this knee bent, and then you're going to slide the leg back on in, squeezing through the inner thigh. Keep pressing the circle. Slide the leg on out. Exhale, keeping your hips level. Inhale, squeeze the inner thigh and slide it back on in. Good. Slide on out, exhale, and inhale, slide back on in. Let's do 2. Squeezing the circle, shoulders down, slide the leg on out, exhale. Inhale, slide the knee back on in. Good. One more, exhale, and inhale. Good. Come upright, keep your positioning on your ball of your foot. Good, we're going to go back into that now, and we're going to take this into an extended arm position. So again, on the exhale, squeezing the circle, switch on the transverse band, bend the knee. From this point, you're going to extend the arms on out, drawing the shoulders from your ears. Good. Keep this soft bend in the knee. As you slide the leg on out, exhale. Try and lower down by gently pushing your buttocks back. Good. Keep the buttocks at this level, squeezing the circle. We slide the leg back on in, inhale, trying to locate the inner thigh. Good. Exhale, reach that leg on out, and inhale, slide it back on in. Now, I'm really conscious that some of you are not in a squat position. This is weight bearing through the knee and the thigh joint, so your quadriceps should be switching on. Try to keep your knee turning outwards from the hip joint. Don't let it turn in. You don't want any valgus lines here. Keep your buttocks sunk back. Keep your shoulders down, squeezing the circle for your skater. Good. Use the inner thigh, so exhale, slide the leg on out, and then inhale, slide the leg in, squeezing the inner thigh. Good, you should start to feel your quadricep muscle burning. Let's do 2. And then come back on upright, resting down through the heel. Good, we're going to take it to the other side, but in the middle, we're going to do our arm prep. Soften through the knees, switch back onto the T-zone, squeezing the circle on the exhale. Lovely, keeping that tension through your circle. You're going to exhale as you slowly bring the arms up overhead into your halo, ribs sinking in and down. Inhale, the arms come back down to chest or torso. Good. Keeping the circle squeezed. Exhale for arm prep. Shoulders gliding down as the halo appears. Inhale, the arms come back down. Good. Here in your arm prep, you'll notice I've got a little bend through the elbows. This helps me not to arch my back or strain through my shoulders. You're working through the range that is particularly accessible for your body. So as you exhale, ribs sink in and down. As you extend the arms, you may just stop at eye height. You may not position that circle directly over your crown. Good. Let's do 3. Exhale and inhale. Good. Exhale. Ribs sinking in and down. Inhale. Good. Let's make this our last one. Arm prep on the exhale. And inhale, the circle comes down to chest or torso height. Resist that, relax off that resistance. And now let's take it to skater on the other side. Again, with a paper plate or your sock on the wooden flooring, you're going to lift off the heel of your foot onto the ball. Now notice I'm lifting the arch of my foot quite high and keeping that big toe and baby toe connected to the ground through the slider disc. I'm going to soften this knee here, bring the torso to chest height. I'm going to squeeze the circle between my palms. Shoulders down, keeping the upper back engaged. Let's just take it into a low level of skater. Keep your positioning here. Extend the leg on out to the side, exhale, and then on the inward breath, really use the inner thigh to slide the leg back on in. Keep that knee soft, keep the shoulders down. Exhale, skater. Inhale, use the inner thigh to drag the leg back on in. Now you really want to work through the you really want to work through the quadricep on one leg, and through that heel that's lifted, the inner thigh connection to bring the leg back on in. You're keeping the upper back working, the chest accountable, utilizing the circle. Good, let's do one more. Slide the leg on out, and inhale, slide the leg back on in. Good, lift yourself upright, keep the heel lifted on that foot. We're going to take it into the long lever, squeezing the circle, keeping the T-zone on, extend the arms, directly out from the chest. Keep that squeeze, keep the upper back connection, bend through the knee once more. Keep yourself on the ball of your foot. Now as you slide the leg on out, exhale, sink the buttocks back and down. Keep this level positioning with your hips. Inhale, slide the leg on in. Exhale and inhale. Good. Try to keep the knee pointing outwards from the hip joint. Don't let it turn in and become valgus. Keep sinking the buttocks back. Keep yourself loading through that one quadricep here. Try not to arch your back. Utilize the squeezing of the circle to be connected to that upper back fiber of that trapezius between the shoulder blades. Slide the leg on out and slide the leg back on in. Good, now your quadriceps should be burning. It should be getting quite fatigued here at this point. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Let's slide the leg back on in. Let's lift ourselves on upright. Feel the quadriceps switch off and bring the heel back down. Good, let's get rid of the slider for now. We're going to position the circle down and we're going to grab the ball, place it between the VMO to do our roll downs. If you don't have the ball, by all means, you can do this without. Bring yourself to hip width stance. Relax the shoulders, float the sternum for your breath in. Arms by your side. On your next exhale, we're going to think about switching on the transverse band, dropping the chin to the chest, sinking the ribs towards the hips as we begin to round the upper back forwards. Exhale as we allow the head to move in front of the belt line, keeping the knees soft as you allow your upper body to roll forwards and down over those legs. Take a soft breath in at the bottom, push through the heels. Switching on by scooping out the belly, we're going to stack the vertebrae upright, one at a time, lifting yourself tall once more. Good, a deep breath in at the top. Chin to chest, exhale, sink the ribs towards the hips. Allow your upper back to roll forwards and down. Your head's moving in front of your belt line and your thighs. You could have bent knees here if you need to take tension off the back. Inhaling at the bottom. Exhale to push through the heels, scooping through the belly. Do not squeeze to burst the ball. Just think about holding with the VMO to keep yourself in that nice hip width stance. Good, a deep breath in at the top. Chin to chest, exhale, sink and roll. Good, keep rolling forwards and down, allowing the upper back to loosen, allowing the lower back to also soften over your hip bones, and then exhale, rolling upright. Good, let's do 2. A deep breath in at the top, chin to chest, exhale, sink, ribs to hips. Head moving in front of the chest and the belt line. Exhaling as you roll the vertebrae over the thighs. Good, a nice deep breath in at the bottom. You could have slightly straighter legs if you'd like. Exhale to scoop through the belly, push through the heels. Lift the vertebrae upright using that core unit. Stacking tall. Last one, a deep breath in. Chin to chest, exhale, sink and roll. Good, as we come to this point in the forward fold, take a deep breath in. We're going to soften through the knees as we begin to exhale, walk the hands forwards, come down to the box position. Good, you can keep the ball where it is in the VMO. You can grab hold of your circle, you'll need that next. Good, so we're going to play a little bit with the circle and the ball in this position, and also the slider if you choose. So we're going to start with swimming arms. In your 4-point kneeling box, melt the shoulders away. Inhale, lift the pelvic floor. Exhale, connect the T-zone. Keeping the pelvis stable, you're not trying to lose your ball here. You're going to exhale as you slide one arm on out from the box, keeping the shoulder blade gliding down. Inhale, slide that hand back on in to change sides. Exhale, swimming arm. Inhale, slide it back on in. Now I want you to keep accountable through the chest line. So try and keep the chest floating in the box position. Don't let the shoulder draw the chest down and you become lopsided. Equally, if you're taking the hand from the mat here, reaching the arm ahead, draw the shoulder blade down. Try to keep the chest level here. Good. Lovely. Utilize that nice exhale from the core itself as we extend the arm away from the center, drawing the shoulder blade down the back. Good. Loosen off that neck joint. Give your head a little shake of no and yes. If you need a little bit of mindfulness to not stress through the upper traps. Let's do 2 on each side. Swimming arm, nice and simple, switching on the back of the chest. Lovely, your last one. Come back to the box. If you need rest off your wrists, come to your child's pose. I'm staying upright in this position. I'm going to move into my 4-point hover, which is an exercise I have shown you previously last week. From your box position, you're going to tuck your toes under. Keeping the ball in the VMO, draw the shoulder blades down. Inhale as you lift the pelvic floor. Exhale, focus on connecting to the T-zone, supporting that nice neutral box position through the lower back. Now in this position with the toes tucked under, you're going to be pressing through the ball of the foot. I want you to draw the shoulder blades down. Exhale, think about lifting the belly an extra notch away from your mat. As you exhale, pull the knees off the mat, coming into 4-point kneeling hover. Take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale, slowly sink the knees back down to contact the mat. Try not to sink through the lower back. Take a deep breath in. We'll do that 3 more times. On an exhale, imagine sinking those abdominals a little bit deeper, pushing through the ball of the foot, drawing the shoulder blades down. Exhale, float the knees off. Have a look at my back here. I'm trying to keep my box in position. As you inhale, try not to lose that lower back. Exhale, bring the knees down gently. Good, you've got 2 more. Draw the shoulder blades down. On the exhale, abdominals. Lift the knees off. Try not to hinge through the lower back. Try not to lift the pelvis up. Good. Then exhale, come down. 1 more. Shoulder blades down. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, abdominals. Lift the knees off. Good. Take a deep breath in here. Shoulder blades drawing down. On the exhale, slowly bring the knees back in contact with the mat. Untuck the toes. Have your rest in your child's pose if you need. Beautiful. From this point, you can pop your ball out. We're going to go into press up level 1 or 2. You can utilize the circle if you'd like to work into a progression, possibly level 2, and you need a little bit of assistance. So from this point, we're going to do in tempo push-ups. I'll show you level 1 utilizing the circle, and level 2, you can choose what you would like. So I'm going to bring myself back to my box position. I'm going to position the circle on my sternum. It's not high up in my collarbone. It's on that lower third, just where my rib cage begins to end. My hands are positioned in line with my shoulders, and I'm switching back onto T-zone. Level 1, the hands are as wide as your mat. Now your shoulder blades are gliding down. You're going to be coming down for the count of 3 on your inhale and pushing off, lifting yourself back up for the count of 3 on your exhale. So inward breath, we're going to begin to depress the sternum onto the circle for 3, 2, 1, and then take a nice exhale, utilizing the belly for 3, 2, 1 to push off. And we're going to do 10 of these. Now, if you're not working in level 1 box and you're working a little bit harder in level 2, you know the hands are 1 or 2 paces in front. You want to incline from knee, hip, and shoulder, so you may need to utilize a deeper abdominal connection. Equally, we're going to come down for the count of 3, depressing our sternum onto the circle, keeping the shoulder blades gliding down, elbows gliding back. Exhaling to push off from the circle for 3, 2, 1, and lifting ourselves back up to level 2 if you choose. Try not to lift the bum back. Try to keep your nice strong incline here. So for your 10 push-ups, Down for the count of 3, inhaling. Exhaling to push off for the count of 3, utilizing the circle if you choose to support that scapular awareness. Keep the shoulder blades gliding down. Keep the elbows drawing towards the back corners of your mat. Try not to strain your neck here. Good, the belly is really important in your push-ups. You want to utilize that nice deep connection on the exhale to stop your lower back sagging. So you should have possibly 3 more push-ups left. Really count that breath down for the count of 3. And exhaling for the count of 3 up. Here in level 1, don't try to tilt your tailbone up. Really keep that pelvis set within that neutral box. Your last one, down, inhale for the count of 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Push off, come back to your box. You can walk your hands back to your child's pose position. Position the circle down for a break and come into that child's pose for resting. Beautiful. There's one more exercise I'm going to do here. You can swap this out for swimming legs or swimming arm and leg if you choose. I'm going to be utilizing my slider disc or my paper plate or my socks on a wooden surface. So for this exercise, this is known as icebreaker within reformer. Very similar to the exercise you were doing when you were standing upright in skater. So you can position the ball back between the VMO if you'd liked that nice proprioceptive awareness when we did our 4-point kneeling hovers that we previously did here. I'm going to add on to that exercise, this progression, where you'll slide the leg on out. So you'll lift and slide one leg on out and slide it back on in. Try not to change the positioning of your lower back or your pelvis. In your box, draw the shoulder blades down, tuck the toes under, even though one foot will be positioned on the slider for 6 repetitions. So you're really pushing into the balls of your feet. Shoulder blades are drawing down and you're switching onto the T-zone. Now remember, the exhale is the preparation where you lift those abdominals, pushing into the ball of the foot to lift your knees. Take a deep breath in here, trying to keep your 4-point kneeling box. Exhale, slide the leg just slightly out from that bent 90-degree position. Inhale, slide the leg back on in. Try not to lose the ball, so it's only a small extension. I'm not trying to get you to work too hard to extend the leg and lose that neutral box. You're going for 6 repetitions, really working on exhaling, using the abdominals to slide the leg on out, and inhale, sliding the knee on in. Good. Exhale and inhale. Last one. Come back on in, inward breath. Exhale, slowly bring the knees on down. Let's change sides. So we're going to be bringing the slider onto the opposite foot. I'm moving on to carpet. Remembering, you can swap this out for swimming arms and legs if you need. Shoulder blades down. Take a deep breath in. You're tucking the toes under onto the ball of your foot. Exhaling to switch on the T-zone. Good. Push away from the shoulders, drawing them down your back. Exhale to lift the tummy a little bit more as we float the knees off. Try to keep the box. Inward breath to hold. Exhale, slide the knee just out of 90. Inward breath, slide it back on in. I'm keeping the ball positioned between the VMO connection, so I'm not getting you to move too far out of that reach. Slide the leg on out. The ball will slide over the top of your knee, and then inward breath, slide it back on in. Really hard exercise. Really think about drawing the shoulder blades down, keeping the tummy turned on. Go for your 6. I've already done about 8. Come back for an inward breath, and then position the knees down. Come back to a 4-point kneeling box before transitioning back to child's pose, taking the time off your wrists. Horrible exercise. It comes from the reformer. Good. From that position, we're actually going to come down into the stomach to do our prone back work. How are we looking? Beautiful. We're halfway. Bring our chest down fully, coming into prone. Now we're going to utilize the ball if you choose, so keep it close at hand here. We're going to begin with stop signs. So melt the shoulders back and down, pop the forehead onto the mat, turn the heels out if you choose. Switching onto those abdominals, inhale pelvic floor, exhale T-zone, lifting the tummy off the mat. Good. Now you're flattening your tummy from hip bone to hip bone. Try not to lift your hips off the mat here. Keep the tailbone drawing down. Take an inward breath for preparation. We're going to exhale, glide the shoulder blades down our back, drawing into the waistline beneath the rib cage. Elbows gliding down the mat into the waist. Inhale, hands come back to face height. Just your traditional stop signs here. Really thinking about where you were working in that in that 4-point kneeling series, and now getting the most out of targeting through that trapezius. Try to keep your forearms on the mat. You may need to widen your arms here. Keep the tummy lifted. Exhale, glide the shoulder blades down your back, elbows into the waistline. Inhale, hands to face height. Shoulders are not shrugging upwards. We're trying to counteract that shrugging motion that some of you will have daily. Good, let's do 2. And let's do our last 1. From this position with the drawn down positioning of your stop sign, you can have a little rest if you need. I'm staying switched on. I'm going to go through my breaststroke prep exercise head down. So utilizing the T-zone connection, drawing the tailbone down, I'm going to inhale, float the hands a paper's width from the mat. It could be 1 or 2 arms at this stage. Now I'm going to draw my circle. Inhale, sweep the fingertips forwards. Exhale, glide the shoulder blade down the back. Inhale, sweep the fingertips forwards. Exhale, glide the shoulder blades down your back. Good. Try to think about the shoulder blade drawing the circle here. For some of you, you may choose to utilize your ball if you're working 1 arm. You can roll the ball between your palm and the mat to draw your circle here, and that will also give you some weight-bearing relief through the arm if you're really working with really tight shoulders and the shoulder girdle does not support the weight of the arm from the mat. Those of you that are drawing a larger circle, please be aware of your T-zone. Let's not strain through those abdominals or the neck. Keep looking down into the mat. Let's draw 2 more circles. Our last one. Let's come back to the mat with both arms. Rest the chest and the head down fully. Switch off of those abdominals for a small break. We're going into swan prep extension, which is an essential for most of us. Widen your arms from your chest. Keep the forearm, the elbow on the mat. Let's switch back onto the T-zone, adding a little bit more. Once the T-zone is connected, take a deep breath in with a marble under your nose. Roll it along the edge of the mat. Roll it along the mat towards the edge of the mat line. Now, even if your forehead lifts, keep looking down the tip of your nose. Don't lift your chin. Exhale, glide the shoulder blades further down your back, drawing into the waistline beneath that rib cage, peeling the chest off. Good. Inward breath with the abdominals still lifted. We bring the chest down slowly to touch our nose back on that glass marble, resting on the mat. Exhale, roll the nose underneath the chin, trying to round over the back of your neck and your crown to really open up that cervical spine. Start again on your next inward breath if you choose, rolling that glass marble along your mat towards the edge of the mat line with the tip of your nose. Peeling the forehead off lightly. Keep the chin from lifting up as we exhale, glide the shoulder blades down your back. Try to keep this nice neutral neck position. Have a little shake of yes and no, mindfully if you need. And then inward breath, bring the chest back down to the mat slowly. Lifted through those abdominals at all times. Popping our nose back on the glass marble. And then exhaling, rolling that marble under the chin to round over the back of the neck. Let's do 2 more. Shoulder blades are softly drawn down as you begin. Inward breath, we begin to roll that glass marble forwards. The tummy is engaged. Exhale as we glide the shoulder blades down our back, drawing into that waistline beneath the rib cage. Try not to strain through the neck. Keep looking down the tip of your nose. Inhale, the chest comes back down slow as you can, so you're mindful of that abdominal connection. Nose on that marble. Exhale, roll it under the chin, rounding over the back of your neck. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Thinking about the draw down, the tummy is still lifted. Shoulders down your back. Inward breath, we bring the chest back down slowly, touching the nose back on the glass marble. Tucking the nose under the chin to round over the back of your neck. Beautiful. Soften and relax everything into the mat. Now it's at this point, for those of you that want to work into breaststroke, full breaststroke, you can grab hold of your ball. Some of you can come back to repeating your stop signs, your breaststroke prep with your head resting down, or your head just floating from the mat. Remember, you can utilize the ball, rolling it between your palm. So if you worked one arm previously, you can now work the opposite arm in your breaststroke prep if you want to roll the ball between your palm and the mat. I'm going to be coming up into my swan prep, and I'm going to be utilizing the ball next. So switching onto the T-zone, coming in through swan prep, inhale, rolling the nose along the mat line. Exhaling to glide the shoulder blades down. I'm aware my extension is controlled and managed by my T-zone. Now I'm going to begin to float my palms from the mat. I'm going to start with a small circle, inward breath, fingertips forwards, exhale, glide the shoulder blade down. I want to make sure that I'm fully aware that I'm preparing the back to move in this extension. Once I feel like I'm adequately enough engaged, I can hold this extension. I'm going to grab hold of my ball. Now I'm going to start to draw a big circle, coming into full breaststroke, squeezing the armpit muscle as I draw the hand down to the side of the thigh. I'm going to transition the ball across to the opposite arm and then dive under the water, inhale, sweeping the arms forwards. I'm rotating the palm out, exhaling as I glide the palm down to the side of the thigh, squeezing the armpit shut, transitioning the ball across the lower back, and then I'm going to inhale, sweep the arms forwards. Coming into my breaststroke dive. Exhale, rotating the palm out, squeezing the armpit towards the chest wall, drawing the thigh, hand to the thigh, pressing the ball towards the lower back. Transitioning, inhale, sweep forwards. Rotating, exhale, squeeze the armpit shut. Transitioning across, inward breath. Rotate, exhale. Now, if you're tight through your shoulders and you cannot manage to transition the ball across the lower back, you could just do 3, 4, or 5 breaststroke holding the ball in one arm, pressing the ball to the side of the thigh before you come down, reset, and transition across. I know that some of you may find this position where you're in your forward dart quite hard to squeeze the shoulders close to bring the hands towards one another without impinging through the lower back. So don't try and strain here. You could do your 5 holding the ball in one palm before you transition 5 in the opposite. Whatever you're doing, let's do your final 2. I'm going to go for full breaststroke. Inhale, fingers forwards. Exhale, squeeze the armpit close. Bring the chest higher and squeeze the hand to the thigh. Transition the ball across. Inhale, sweep under the water. Exhale. Good. Your last one. Bring the chest back down slowly, hands resting on the mat. As you soften the chest and the forehead, soften that pelvic floor connection and have your time out. Bring your hands down to chest height, push your chest off, round your upper back, drawing your buttocks back towards your heels or your couch in my situation here. Reach the fingertips forwards, drop the forehead onto the mat and have a little child's pose. Good. From this position, bring yourself up slowly and come down to lay on your back in supine. So I'm giving you some challenges, but by all means, please work at the level you deem appropriate for you. Now, going into supine, we're going to utilize the circle between the inner thigh connection. Some of you may swap this out for the chi ball or fully inflated ball, particularly if you find it hard to hold the circle between the inner thigh. If you've got a narrow pelvis like me, it is challenging. I only managed to do it because I slope the circle. So I'm going to position the circle in my VMO connection. Now with the circle placed here, I need to bring my feet back into alignment. And that means, yes, I bring my knees inwards and I already have tension on the circle. You want to be in neutral spine, so please make sure you are before you switch on that T-zone. From this point, with the T-zone connected in neutral spine, you're going to begin your inner thigh squeezes, nice and simple. Hands can be on your pelvis, checking that your hips are staying level. Take a nice deep breath in. We're going to exhale, squeeze inwards on the circle, drawing the knees and the inner thighs towards one another. Keep the feet on the mat. As you inhale, slowly let the circle stretch out, but don't go beyond your lovely hip width stance. So it's an exhale, press inwards into the circle, squeezing the inner thighs, utilizing that nice flattening of those abdominals. Inhale to slowly let the circle expand, only to that hip width stance. So we're not letting go of the tension completely. Exhale inwards for that inner thigh squeeze. Inhale, we slowly release. Good. Exhale, flattening through the belly, and inhale to release. You can stick with this if you'd like for your 8 more reps, or I'm going to add arm prep. Arms by my side. So I'm going to bring my arms up directly in line with my chest, shoulder blades down. As I squeeze inwards on the circle, exhale to flatten the belly. I'm going to start to take the arms overhead into arm prep. Ribs are sinking in and down. Inhale, hands come back to chest as I slowly undo that concentration on the circle. I'm going to shuffle myself down so I'm not hitting my couch. Remember, the exhale is the arm prep, ribs sinking in and down as you press inwards through the inner thigh into the circle. Inhale, hands come back over chest. Gently release the circle to hip width. Good. Exhale and inhale. Lovely. Exhale, belly flattening. Ribs sinking in and down. Inhale. Good. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's bring the arms out wide, palms facing up for pendulum. Keep the circle where it is if you choose, or take the circle out. You can replace it with a ball. Now I'm going to keep my feet on the mat for this here. I'm going to press my big toe, my heels together. My knees obviously will not meet because the circle is in this position. Take a nice deep breath in here. Now for those of you that are already switched on and connected, beautiful. If not, make sure you're in neutral as you connect the T-zone with the tension on the circle. We're going to inhale as both knees roll over one side of the body, keeping the big toe, the heel connected. We're going to press inwards onto the circle, exhale to flatten through the belly, drawing the knees back to center. We can release that little bit of squeeze, keep the knees to hip width. Good. Inhale, the knees roll over one side of the body, keeping the head aligned to the ceiling. Squeeze in through the circle, exhale to scoop out through the belly, returning the legs to center, release to hip width with those knees. Good. Inhale, knees over. Pressing the circle to squeeze, exhale, scoop back to center. Good. It's important you come back to hip width stance with the knees, keeping that small amount of activation and tension on the circle in the middle. You want to squeeze the circle to use that inner thigh connection, flattening through the belly or scooping out the T-zone as you come back to center. Keep the shoulders relaxed on the mat here. You'll notice your range is not as large if you did not have the circle there. Good. Your inner thigh is probably quite fatigued. Let's do 1 more each side. Squeeze, exhale, scoop the belly back to center. Last one, inhale. Squeeze, exhale to center. Beautiful. From this position, walk the feet out back to hip width. Slowly release the circle's tension. Grab hold of the circle. Good. If you need to, have a short rest before you move on. I'm going to now loop my feet and my legs through the circle. If you've got quite muscular thighs and they can't fit through the circle, just position it over the kneecaps as such, okay? If you can, loop your feet through, if you've got no calves like me. From this position, keep the circle pads on the outside connection of the VMO. We're now targeting those external rotators. So we're going to start working through pelvic curl, arms by your side. Take a deep breath in. Switching on to T-zone, pelvic floor and abdominals in neutral spine. Now we're keeping the feet positioned on the mat. We're going to start to tuck that pelvis backwards, releasing lumbar spine to rest on the mat, squeezing the big glutes. Now I'm going to press into my heels and outwards into the circle as I gently peel the pelvis, the lumbar spine, the mid back off. I'm going to come to the top of pelvic curl with a nice deep breath in, ribs softly drawn down, backs not arched, glutes, hammies, and also outer thigh on. Keeping that connection, I'm going to soften by bringing my rib cage back down. Exhale as I roll down through the vertebrae. Keeping that tension pressed out into the circle, externally rotated through that hip joint, through the femur. Good. Inward breath, come back to neutral at the bottom. You can release the outward press on the circle just for a moment's rest. Now we can start again, tilt the pelvis back, exhale, as we bring the lumbar spine onto the mat. Now as you squeeze your big glutes, pressing into your heels, external rotation of the femur at the hip joint to press into the circle. As you exhale to roll your pelvis, your lower back, your mid back off. Take a nice deep breath in at the top. Check your alignment, check you've got that nice connection into the circle, the glutes and the hammies. And then exhale, keep that connection through the lower body and the abdominals. As you sink down, exhale back to the mat. Lower back and pelvis last, inhale, come to neutral. Let's do 2 more. Tilt the pelvis back. Exhale, pressing outwards through the thigh connection into the circle, using the glutes, the hammies and the abdominals. Lovely, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, roll down. Let's do 1 more. We're going to hold at the top here. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, tilt. Lumbar spine on the mat. Exhale, peel and roll off. Good. Pressing outwards with that external rotation from the femur into the circle. Keeping the glutes and the hammies on. Take a deep breath in. We're going to float the arms. And we're going to do some lateral arm drops. Keep your pelvis level. Exhale, drop your right arm out to the side. Keep your left arm over your chest. Inhale, draw that arm back on in. Take it to the other side. Exhale. Don't let your pelvis travel with those arms. Exhale, arm drops out. Inhale, draw the arm back on in. Good. Keep pressing gently outwards into the circle through that external rotation of the femur in the hip joint. Good. You're doing your lateral arm drops. Try not to drop your pelvis or skew if your pelvis or your hip bones here. Good. You should be fatiguing that glute max. Let's do 1 more on each side. Exhale, arm drops out to the side. Inhale, pull the arm back on in. You can take the arms overhead if you choose. Keep pressing lightly outwards into the circle. Exhale, melt the rib cage down. Good. Melt the mid back, the lower back, the pelvis back to the mat. Inhale, float to neutral. Beautiful. From this, we're going to take our legs out of the circle, position the circle to the side. Let's do a little bit of ab curl, oblique curl, and then we'll move into stretching out the hips to finish. Hands behind the head, elbows wide, chest open. If you choose, you can come into your lift foot for 10 and lift and extend for 10 to alternate out this curling exercise. Keeping a light tuck of chin to chest, switching onto the T-zone. Position the head in your hands by lightly lengthening the back of your neck. Exhale to curl, sink the ribs towards the hip bones to scoop the belly and peel the head from the mat. Inhale to lower down. Keep that connection of your head in your hands. Exhale to curl. Ribs to hips, scooping out the belly. Inhale to lower. Good. Exhale. And inhale. Beautiful. Keeping the feet on the mat is level 1. Level 2, as your head comes back to the mat, single leg tabletop. Exhale to curl. And inhale to lower. Good. Keep that knee positioning over the hip. Keep that light tuck of chin to chest, lengthening the back of the neck. We're going for 4 on each tabletop leg. Really trying not to press the lower back into the mat. Utilize that lovely neutral spine. Once you've finished 4 on one leg, make sure you connect the T-zone in tabletop before you transition across to the opposite side. Good. Exhaling to curl. This knee not moving in towards you. It's very, very stable in tabletop. Beautiful. Once you've done 4 in each tabletop leg, some of you may choose to do 4, in double leg tabletop. Now, double leg tabletop, the knees are aligned over the hip bones. You're not trying to draw the knees towards you or rock the pelvis back to the mat. You still have a neutral spine connection, although we call this safe spine because the lumbar spine is slightly lowered in a position where you have the weight of your legs lifted from the mat. So your pelvis is weight loading. Good. Once you've done 4 in your double leg tabletop, head comes back to the mat. You can bend the knees and rest with your knees towards your chest or feet down one at a time. We're going to finish with our oblique curl. Now, oblique curl to suit you. Keep your feet on the mat if you'd like for 10 to 12 reps, or follow me up the ladder. Coming back to this head position, coming back to the head float, coming back to switching on the T-zone in neutral. Adding through the ab curl, we're going to exhale to curl, ribs sinking in and down to scoop through those abdominals. We want the flat belly before we rotate, the armpit towards the opposite hip bone. Inhale to unrotate and lower. Good, let's alternate sides. Exhale to curl and rotate. Good, inhale and lower. Beautiful. For those of you that are really strong in this oblique curl, by all means, start moving up the ladder. For some of you that need to stay feet on the mat, please continue on. I'm adding into tabletop. And you can by all means alternate by bringing the foot down in between each oblique curl, if it suits you. Or you could just do your 4 on static tabletop on one side before alternating 4 on the other. Good. Try to think about drawing the armpit across the body to the opposite armpit, not just moving into lateral flexion. For those of you that are working or would like to work in double leg tabletop, alternate your sides, keep your knees aligned over your hips. Really think about the scooping of that belly flat before you rotate across. Going for your 4 in tabletop for each side. Good, let's make this our final one. Beautiful. Good, let's bring the head back to the mat. Let's bring the feet down one at a time. Let's grab hold of the circle to hamstring stretch. So for your hamstring stretch, we're going in from single leg tabletop. I'm going to be using the circle. So when I come into tabletop with my connection on in neutral spine, I can loop the pad of the circle over the sole of the foot. The toes and the heel are not on the circle. I'm going to bring the hands, palms facing me, at about 5 and 7 o'clock on my circle here. Draw the shoulder blades down. Taking a nice soft breath in, utilizing that abdominal connection, I'm going to exhale, try and extend the leg softly through the knee joint. Good, take a deep breath in here. On your next exhale, slowly start to lift the leg up towards 90, but be aware that you want to stay within neutral spine, and that might be only a small lift for you here. You may not even get to 90. Try and keep your attention to keeping the leg over the hip joint, not out to the side. Good. From this point, take a deep breath in and out. Keep pulling that thigh towards the chest. Beautiful. If you'd like, you can add your point and flex. Inward breath, you point your toes over the top of the circle. Exhale, we're going to flex, pushing the heel up onto that bottom lip of the circle, toes down. Inhale to point, and exhale to flex. Push the heel up here. Good. Inhale, and exhale. Good. Inhale, and exhale. Let's do one more. Keep pulling the thigh towards the chest. Inhale, and exhale. Lovely. Take a deep breath in. Now I'm going into outer thigh stretch, so the same hand to the leg that's in the circle drops out to the side, palm facing up. I'm keeping opposite hand on the circle, and on the next outward breath, pushing my base foot into the circle, I'm slowly going to start to let the leg drop out to the side. Good, I'm going to stop where I get that nice inner thigh stretch without straining through the groin. Taking a nice deep breath in and out here, keeping a soft bend in the knee if you need. Just holding for 3 long deep breaths in and out. Some of you that are hypermobile may want to change into the opposite hand, particularly if you want a deeper connection into that inner thigh. Good. Take a deep breath in and out. Slowly start to lift the leg back over your pelvis. Bend the knee softly and let's change sides. Good. Let's take it into our single leg tabletop position. Extending the leg gently through the knee joint to position the arch of the foot on the circle, palms facing you. Take a deep breath in, pushing through your base leg. Start to slowly extend the leg in the circle, keeping a soft bend in the knee if you need. Good, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, pull the thigh towards the chest, lengthening the leg towards the ceiling, keeping that leg over your hip joint. Good. Keep pulling the thigh towards you. Get that hamstring stretch. Try to be conscious of a nice neutral spine. Don't overload through the lumbar spine discs here. Good. Point and flex if you choose. Inhale, point over the circle. Exhale, flex. Push the heel up, toes down. Good. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Really think about drawing that thigh towards your chest still, so you're still getting your hamstring stretch. Good. 2 more. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Good. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Beautiful. Relax the foot. Let's go for that inner thigh stretch next. Again, keep the opposite hand on the circle if you'd like to begin with a smaller range. We're keeping this base leg pushed into the mat. The same side hand is going to drop out to the side if you'd like, palm facing up. On your next exhale, slowly start to let the leg drop out to the side. You can minimize your range of motion by utilizing this opposite arm, particularly if you don't want to strain your groin or you're working with any kind of hip issue. If you'd like a bigger range, the same side hand could be on the circle, and that allows you to utilize that hip mobility to drop the leg lower. But please don't strain through your hips just to try and get a bigger stretch here. You don't really need a big range of movement. Work through your capabilities. Breathe in and out deeply for your 3 long deep breaths, and just focus on letting that inner portion of the thigh joint stretch. Good. Keep pushing lightly through your base leg to keep your hips as level as possible. Take a nice deep breath in and out here. We're going to slowly start to bring the leg back over the hip joint, bending through the knee to take pressure off the hip flexor. Let's come back to tabletop. Let's unloop. Good. Let's squeeze the inner thighs. Let's roll onto the side. Push ourselves up to seated. Good. We're nearly finished. We've got 1 last stretch left, and I'm going to utilize my hugger tree in seated. So I'm going to position the circle onto my sternum. I'm holding the circle flat like a tray. I'm in cross-legged, but you could be in V-sit or bent knee V-sit if you choose. From this position, place your hands on the opposite pad that's facing your sternum. Try to mirror the circle by softly bending the elbows, shoulders drawing down from your ears, lifting the sternum upright, defining your waist and your hips. Switch onto your T-zone. Once you've got your connection, take a deep breath in. You're going to drop your chin to your chest to look between the circle. And then as you exhale, I want you to round your back forwards as you start to round over the circle here. Good. Take a deep breath in. And then press through the pads into the sternum to lift your chin upright to gather tension on the circle. Feel that tension through the mid-back connection, switching on as you sit upright. Good. Take a deep breath in. Drop the chin to the chest. As you exhale, start to reach the hands forwards, rounding through the upper back. As you round the back over the circle, keep your waist defined, your ribs from your hips, and sit upright. Just allow the upper back to round forwards. Take a deep breath in. Push inwards through the circle to lift the chin upright, and come back to that nice sensation of a floated sternum. 2 more. Good. Drop the chin to the chest. Exhale, reach the arms forwards. As you round the upper back over the circle, keep that definition between your waist and your hips. Good. Take a deep breath in, pressing inwards through the pads into the sternum. Float the sternum upright as you lift your chin, your last one. Chin to chest. Exhale, round. Really think about really widening through the shoulders, trying to really create a lovely circle through the arms. Take a deep breath in to push through the pads of the circle, lifting the chin. As you float the sternum, coming back to that nice upper back connection. Beautiful. Release the tension off the circle. Place the circle to the side. Beautiful. So that was my express full body workout, utilizing a little bit of equipment. I hope you enjoyed the variation that I've tried to program through this online term at Precise Pilates. Hopefully the next time I see you will be in person. Have a lovely school break and a lovely break from your Pilates. I'm going to leave all the videos from the term open on our Precise Pilates channel, so you can access any workouts you would like to do in the next 2 weeks. Feel free to have a look around there. Have a lovely break. I'll see you soon. Bye.